Welcome, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Tennessee Association of Collegiate and Registrars and Admissions Officers Virtual College Fair. We have an awesome lineup of institutions for you to hear from this evening. And before I turn it over to them, I do have a couple of housekeeping items for you all. One, this is a webinar, and so your microphone and your camera are off, so our panelists cannot see or hear you this evening. Secondly, sign up for more sessions. There's a whole nother hour after this, and so it's a great way to learn about a lot of schools at one time. And this is being recorded this evening, and so you will be able to sign up and view the recording within 1 week at strivescan.com/Tennessee. And finally, we know that you're going to have some questions, and so go ahead and use that Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen at any point to make sure that you get your questions answered. So type out your question and then also list the institution that you're directing your question to so that our panelists can answer appropriately. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to them. The first institution that is going to present tonight is Mallory from the University of Central Arkansas. Take it away, Mallory, whenever you're ready.
All right, thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm going to share my screen with you before we get started. I'm with the University of Central Arkansas. We're located in Central Arkansas. In case you couldn't have guessed that, but we are in a town called Conway. It's a great college town. If you want an idea about how far away we are, a little over 3 hours from here to Memphis, to give you an idea. But one thing I always like to promote to my out-of-state students is that UCA offers in-state tuition for out-of-state students as long as you live on our campus. So it's a great way to come to an out-of-state school and not have to pay that out-of-state tuition. So that's a super important fact for you guys to remember. A look at our campus. This is about how many students we have, almost 11,000. So we're a decent sized school, but if you get involved, I promise it'll feel as small as you make it. But you will feel like you're away from home and at college with that small feel if you do get connected. Our student to faculty ratio, we're really proud of this, is 16:1. If you're not sure what this means that on average for every faculty member we have at UCA, we have 16 students. So of course, in a big science lecture hall, yeah, it may be a bigger class, but on average, your class sizes are not going to be much bigger than your high school classroom sizes. So this leaves a lot of opportunity to connect with students in your class, get help with tests, homework, and anything like that from your professors, get to know them, and that's super important. So student life, you may come here for a major program. We are known for our health sciences. We started off as a school for teachers, all that good stuff, but you will get connected and you'll want to stay here for student life. So we have over 200 registered student organizations. We call them RSOs for short. This is a club for your major, a religious group, a political group, you name it. People have gotten really creative, and you can actually create a group you're on your own if you see there's a need on campus, which is really cool. We have Greek life, intramural sports, and we also have study abroad options. Hopefully that will go back to normal in the near future. This is our Hyper Center. Our Hyper Center is our gym on campus. This includes group exercise classes, racquetball rooms, golf simulator, tons of cool stuff within our Hyper Center. And we also have a pool. You can come and swim and work out. It's half the size of an Olympic-sized pool. Also, if you're looking for ways to work on campus or you need a job during college, working on campus is a great option. So you can lifeguard, work on our Hyper Center, work in our admissions office. There's tons of options for that. This is our UCA Challenge course. This is brand new as of this past summer. We tried it as an admissions staff, and it is super fun. It is challenging, but I promise they will work your way up to the top, so it's not as intimidating, but this is made for 3 or 4 people to actually cross at the same time. So it truly is a team effort to do this challenge course. If you do not know us for anything else, you may know us for our stripes. We are one of few in the nation to have a colored or football field for Division I in sports, and we are grandfathered into keeping the stripes. The NCAA ruled out colored football fields after we got them. So we're going to keep these next time we replace our turf. So we're super excited. Housing, we have residential colleges. These are students who live together based on their major. So it's a really awesome living and learning environment. We have the only insurance and risk management major in the state of Arkansas. We started off as a school for teachers in 1907. So our education department's pretty cool. And we are almost done with this building. We got to tour it a couple days ago, our health and behavioral sciences, new integrated health sciences building. This will serve occupational therapy students, nursing, and family and consumer science. We're also building a new fine arts building, a Wingate Center for Fine Arts. And this will be next door to that health science building, which is pretty cool. These are our current admissions requirements. We have an OR option because ACT dates were canceled, unfortunately, because of COVID. So we wanted to give you all this OR option. If you're watching this later, you can pause this or take a picture. These are our academic scholarships. Of course, one of these deadlines has passed, but one has not. So if you fall within this third or fourth tier, you still have time to apply to UCA. When you apply to UCA, this also serves as your scholarship application to us. So when you apply, we need three things from you. We need your transcript, we need your ACT or SAT scores, and we need your shot records. You can apply at this link, or you can apply here at gopurple.uca.edu. You can schedule a campus tour here, or you can come visit us for an admitted student open house or a preview day. We give tours Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. If you all have any questions about anything, my name is Mallory Watson. I'm your admissions counselor. This is my email address, and I'm also going to leave my name, my contact information in the chat for you all to view. And if y'all have questions about anything on campus, just let me know. Anything from admissions to what there is to eat to student life, I'm so happy to answer all of those. So thank you all for coming today. I appreciate it.
Mallory, thanks so much to you and the University of Central Arkansas. Audience, don't forget you can put your questions in the Q&A at any point. Next up, I have the opportunity to introduce to you the University of Arkansas. Take it away, Megan, whenever you're ready.
All right, awesome. Good evening, everybody. So glad that you are joining us. You should be able to see my screen now. So my name is Megan, and I'm the admissions counselor for the University of Arkansas. So we are same state as UCA, but just a little further west. So we are in the northwest corner of the state of Arkansas. To give you an idea of where that is, we're about 5 hours from Memphis, about 7.5 hours, or a direct flight from Nashville. So, it's a great place to come and visit. It's a great place to come and do your college experience. If you're not familiar with Fayetteville, we are actually the #4 place to live in the entire United States. So that's something we're very proud of. There's a lot of reasons why we are in that ranking, to be sure, but we are a quintessential college town. So the downtown square actually runs right through our campus. We have an award-winning farmers market down there, great shopping, restaurants, all kinds of things like that. But also, if you're familiar with the teeny tiny company called Walmart, that was actually just started just up the road in Bentonville, which is about 45 minutes from our campus. We're super grateful that Bentonville is in the area, as well as Walmart. Walmart actually requires that every single retailer they work with have an office in the Northwest Arkansas area. So what that's going to mean for you as a student is you're going to have access to over 325 Fortune 500 companies and over 4,000 businesses. That's all within an hour's drive of campus. There's only one city in the world that matches our density of Fortune 500 companies. That city is New York City. So for you to be able to be in Northwest Arkansas in the middle of the Ozark Mountains and have the same types of opportunities you could have in the Big Apple, I definitely think is one of the coolest and most unique things about our university. Of course, there's a lot going on around campus in addition to Fayetteville. So on our campus, you're going to have a lot of opportunities to get involved. We have over 400 registered student organizations. That ranges from anything from pre-professional societies, political, religious, cultural organizations, A couple of my personal favorites, we have the I Heart Dr. Pepper Club, and then the Tour de Nugget, which is an organization a student started where essentially students will carpool around town to all the various restaurants that serve chicken nuggets, and they will rank them bracket style to determine who serves the best nuggets in town. So you can certainly get very creative with the types of things you're getting involved in. Now, of course, in the classroom, you have a lot of opportunities as well. We have over 200 degree programs. About 100 of those are undergraduate majors that you can choose from. I'll highlight a couple of those for you. So our College of Business is in the top 30 business schools in the country. We have a nationally ranked engineering program with 11 different disciplines of engineering. Our nursing students have a 100% job placement rate after they graduate. And then our architecture program has previously been named in the top 10 architecture programs in the country. So lots of great options for you. We do maintain an 18-to-1 student to faculty ratio. Most of our classes enroll no more than 30 students. So you can expect a pretty small class size at our university, which is pretty impressive considering we have almost 28,000 students on our campus. You can expect your freshman class to be somewhere around 5,000 students. So we do have a lot of resources as a large research institution, but it'll feel like a smaller community as you get involved and as you get into those smaller class sizes. Now you can see a picture there of our football team. We are a D1 SEC school, home of the only Razorbacks in the world. So athletics is certainly a big part of our campus culture. We would encourage you to purchase an all-inclusive student athletic pass. It's $85, gets you into every single home game for every sport for the entire year. Pays for itself within 2 football game tickets. So it's a pretty great deal, best in the SEC as far as we know. So definitely take advantage of that. And hopefully we'll all be able to have the opportunity to study abroad in the near future. We are in the top 5 study abroad programs in the United States. I'll go over our admissions criteria really briefly. So you'll see the dates that you need to know up there. Go ahead and write those dates down. Juniors, your application is going to open up July 15th. Please get that in by the priority deadline of November 1st. That's super important that you get it in by that deadline so that you can apply for scholarships by November 15th. We give out about 90% of our scholarship funds based on those dates. So please don't miss them. There are a few ways that you can be admitted. I know there's a lot of jargon there on that slide. We are going to have a test optional policy again this year. So if you have a 3.2 GPA on a standard 4.0 scale, you can be admitted without a test score. Now, please keep in mind, we will need tests for scholarship as well as enrollment purposes. You can also be admitted with a 3.0 and a 20 or a 3.0 and a 1030. If you don't meet those requirements, no worries, please go ahead and still apply. We have a comprehensive application process, and so we would love to try to get you admitted in any way that we possibly can. I do want to just briefly touch on our non-resident tuition award, or the NRTA. This is a great way to save money. You can get up to 90% off of that additional out-of-state portion of tuition solely based on your GPA. If you have a 3.6 GPA on a standard 4.0 scale, you're going to receive an award of about $15,000 a year. No questions asked. You can see there if you have a 3.4, it's about $13,000, and a 3.2, it's about $11,500 a year. You don't have to apply for this. It's automatically awarded to you. This is super unique to our university. So you're basically just paying in-state tuition and a little bit of that out-of-state portion on top of that. This is my contact information as well as those dates. Again, I'll also include it in the chat. Let me know if you need anything down the line. Thanks for joining us again, and have a great night, and go Hogs.
Megan, thanks so much to you and the University of Arkansas. Next up, I have the pleasure of introducing to you Williams Baptist University. Take it away whenever you're ready, Laura.
Hey, everybody. Give me just one second. I am going to just put my contact information up just so that you can see that. Like she said, my name is Laura Freeman, and I'm your admissions counselor here from Williams Baptist University. We are also located in Arkansas, kind of like the last 2 presenters. We are actually a little bit closer to, well, we are closer to Tennessee. So we're about an hour and a half if you drive the speed limit to Memphis. So we're far enough away, but we are also close enough you can take your laundry home if you have to. But one of the things to keep in mind is that laundry is included in our package. So you don't have to lug around any quarters or anything like that. I just want to kind of chat with you a little bit about some of the ways you can get here to Williams and some of the routes that people are taking. So we have that traditional route that you're going to have, and you're going to have that with all of the colleges, or almost all of the colleges that you are looking at, and that's going to be where you apply. So we do have our application online, and you just go in there and you apply. It is free, and our application has no deadline. So that means you can get accepted pretty much the day classes start and move in. So that's kind of unique to our college. You can also super score. So we super score our ACT, SAT scores. So go ahead and get all of those in. Like I said, there's no deadline. So you can even take the June ACT if you would like. We take a set up, we start our academic scholarships at a 17 ACT. So definitely get those in. And like I said, we do super score. The next thing I want to talk to you about is our brand new program called Williams Works. So this is a program where you can actually come on campus. You will work for your tuition and your student service fee. So you will work approximately 16 hours a week for the weeks that you're here on campus. And that will in turn be used along with a combination of other financial aid for your student service fee and your tuition. And then we also have a program or a part of the Williams Works program that's going to allow you to work in the summer. So if you're selected for this and all you have to do is apply for it, you can actually pay for your room and board for the next year. So there's a way to come here and not pay at all. But you are paying in work, obviously. There's also the athletic or performing arts route that you can also take. So you would go online and you can apply for an audition and or a tryout, and we'll kind of chat with the coaches and kind of see what happens and see where you go from there. We definitely would love to have you on campus. So make a day of it. Come and visit us. I think that's one of the most important things about your college experience is definitely to see how it feels when you get here. You can kind of see on there, it says my phone number. You can text that number and set up a tour. And I would love to see you. And then just one of the other things is that we do have a 14-to-1 student faculty ratio, and that we definitely have a community feel here. So Williams is unique in that we are a smaller university, but you're going to get that family feel in that community. You're going to be able to hang out with faculty and staff and administration at different events. You're going to be able to get to know them. They're going to get to know you. They're going to be able to help you through this college experience that you're definitely about to embark on. So like I said, I'm always available through that email and that phone number. Just give me a call and I would love to chat with you a little bit more. So I hope y'all have a great night. Thank you.
Laura, thanks so much to you and Williams Baptist University. Next, I have the pleasure of introducing to you Hendricks College. Take it away whenever you're ready.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I'm so glad to be here with y'all this evening as I share my screen. That is always a time. So again, my name is Elon Epps. I would be your mission counselor here at Hendricks College. And we are in the same town as UCA, just about 5 minutes down the road is their main campus. So we are located in Conway, Arkansas, just to kind of put that into perspective. So when you are looking at Hendricks, we are a smaller school, just about 1,100 students is our current population. And so what that really means is you're going to get to build these interpersonal relationships with your faculty members. You know, they're going to get to know who you are, what you're about, what you're really passionate about as well. So really having to show up to class, participate, all those things, the like, that's really Hendricks in a nutshell. You will find that all of our classes are taught by professors. We don't have TAs here, which is really awesome. And if you were able to come walk our campus, what you would notice is that in all of of our buildings, all the professors' offices are on the outskirts of wherever you would take class. So you don't have to walk across campus or different things like that, but our professors are always kind of at your fingertips. And then the last number on this slide that's kind of important is the fact that we do have 37% student athletes. And so what that does mean is that if you have a sport that you love, we most likely do have it on our campus. And we just added esports. And so you can reach out to those coaches and potentially get to play the sport that you love while you're here in college as well. One awesome thing about Hendricks that kind of sets this aside is our engaged learning. And we really turn education on our head with our Odyssey program, something we started about in 2005, and it really allows you to take whatever passion you might have to the next level, and that's across 6 different themes. So artistic creativity, global awareness, professional leadership development, service to the world, undergraduate research, and special projects. And so without getting into the nitty-gritty of each of them, just more about Odyssey, essentially what that looks like is you'd apply to Odyssey for credit for whether it's a class, an internship, study abroad opportunity, different things like that. And if there's a money component with that as well, most likely you would also get the funding. So since 2005, when Odyssey was started, we've given over $4.5 million in funding to our students for unpaid internships, study abroad, different things like that. Then we also have the Murphy program, which is a program that allows you to take whatever passion you might have for language and literature to the next level. It provides about $4,000 in funding for unpaid internships, additional coursework, study abroad, different things like that, as well as anytime poets and authors do come to campus, our Murphy Scholars are those first people we're going to interact with. You also get the opportunity to take an Oxford style class on campus. There's about 3 different projects you also would complete by the time you graduate within Murphy. Within the Miller Center, we are affiliated with the United Methodist Church, but that doesn't mean you have to take specific courses or go to chapel or anything like that. Just knowing that we do have those resources here if that's something you're interested in. One awesome part of the Miller Center is our service learning trips, which is essentially allowing you to do service in either our community, the greater community, or inside the US or outside. Had COVID not happened, a group of students would have gone to New Orleans last year to do more of that Katrina cleanup. And that's just one example that we have here in the US of what our students do. And then if you are within that application cycle and applying, there are 2 main ways you can apply, either through the Common App or through the Hendricks application. There's 2 main things that you need in addition to your application. One is your high school transcript and the other will be an essay. We have no supplementary essays that are required here at Hendricks. And another thing that I usually don't touch on is being test optional. So we have been test optional for the last year or so. And we made the decision before COVID because we know that you are a greater representation of what you can do in a 4-hour period. So your essay, your transcript, your letter recommendation, all of those different things will let us know if you're going to be a good fit for Hendricks. But if you do have SAT or ACT scores, you love them, you can bring them in. But if you don't, that's fine because we're going to look at your application just the same way. And the 3 main ways that you're going to be able to forge your Hendricks education. First is through merit-based scholarships. Every single student who applies to Hendricks is looked at for merit-based scholarships. We also have our Hendricks co-curricular scholarships, Miller, Impact, United Methodist Youth, Performing and Fine Arts. So that's kind of if you're in the arts, leadership, service, different things like that, those would be those scholarships for you to look at. And then lastly would be federal aid. So applying for that FAFSA, which will open and has been open since October 1st, so every year. We do have a Hendricks Early Filer Grant. So if you submit your FAFSA by January 15th of your senior year, you get an additional $1,000 added to your aid package while your attendance here at Hendricks. A great program we also do have is called Tuition Advantage. And that's just our commitment to you that you pay the same in-state tuition price that you would at Tennessee Knoxville. So you take their tuition, our room and board, and that kind of be your base cost of attendance to attend Hendricks. And then finally, just some final dates to keep in mind. And then lastly, just my contact information, which I will put in the chat. It was so great to see all of y'all. Well, not really see you, but hopefully be able to talk with you. And then if you ever do have any further questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elon, to you and to Hendricks College. Next up, I have the opportunity to introduce to you Paul Quinn College. Take it away whenever you're ready.
Hello, greetings from Paul Quinn College, home of the Quinnite Nation. My name is Taylor Henley, and I am an enrollment management officer at Paul Quinn College. I am unable to share. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. All right, Courtney, I think we're actually good now. Sorry, guys.
Don't apologize.
All right, here we go.
And then if
all right, so begins again. There we go. Perfect. I'm all good now. Thank you, Courtney. All right, so like I said, my name is Taylor Henley. I'm an enrollment management officer at Paul Quinn College. I am also an alumna of this institution. So as I am speaking, if I begin to gush a bit, it is because not only is this the place that I actually work, this is also my home institution and the place that I graduated from and the place that invested oh so much into me. And then I'm so grateful to even be a part of administration to this day. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So just a little bit about us as an institution. We were actually founded in 1872 in Austin, Texas by a group of AME preachers. And so our student body basically, or our school, excuse me, was actually founded to educate freed slaves and their offspring. And so while we did begin our actual educational in a more of a vocational space, just because we wanted the people that were actually getting their education to have that, we've now shifted into more of a liberal arts space now. And so at the end of the day, now our students are having unique opportunities that are still honestly a liberal arts focus and inspired education, but it's also bringing some of that vocational training back to it through our urban work college model. Now, early on through what we were doing, we really wanted to make sure that we were amplifying that tradition of providing that quality, faith-based liberal arts education, but we also wanted to always be addressing those academic, social, and Christian development of our students and making sure that was always on the forefront for our institution, as well as something that we do for our students. Now, who we are as an institution. Under the leadership of our current president, Dr. Michael J. Sorrell, we've become one of the nation's most innovative small colleges. Although we are private, we are small, and we are faith-based, we are really doing something that's very different from this regular college education because we're providing really reality-based education. And in 2015, we adopted the new financial structure that I was speaking of about the urban college work model. Basically, what that means is our students have the unique opportunity to not only have subject matter mastery, which is going to actually be through that education and through the degree plan that they actually follow, but they also have the opportunity to have experiential mastery, which is a job that is typically applicable to their major. So kind of what that means in short form. So for a student, let's say that is a liberal arts major with a pathway to teacher certification. During that first 2 years of their actual education with us, their freshman and sophomore year, typically they're on campus within one of our actual offices of the college. Once they're deemed work program ready, they're then actually going into one of our corporate work program jobs. Now, just to put that into perspective, the purpose of us being a work college is to help students actually reduce their college debt. And we're actually graduating almost 80% of all of our students with $10,000 or less in student debt when the national median is actually $25,000. And we're doing that through our work college model. During the time that you're on campus, you're typically receiving a $5,000 per academic year scholarship that goes directly towards your tuition. When you fast forward to that junior and senior year, you can be from anywhere from a $10,000 level academic year to a $15,000 level. So just to kind of put it in perspective, our cost sits around $18,000. So for those students that would be basically moving into their junior, senior year that are in corporate work program jobs, they're automatically taking $15,000 off of that top. So basically there's $3K out the door. That's before any federal aid, any external scholarships that can be given, as well as any institutional scholarships that can be given as well. The beauty of all of this is because not only are our students graduating with their education, but they're also graduating with an actual corporate resume because of the fact that we do have this urban work college designation. Also, just a few things about us. Although we are a small campus, we do have a vibrant and engaging student life that allows our students to really thrive and build the community and the family environment that we have. And that's actually done through our SEAL office. And what that is a Center for Civic Engagement, Entrepreneurship, and Leadership. In most higher education settings, that's what student affairs would be called. But at PQC, we love a good acronym, and SEAL is just one of them. As far as our athletic programs, we do offer basketball, cross country, soccer, track and fields, and volleyball, as well as we do have about 50 clubs and organizations that are on campus at this time. Of course, we have been virtual due to COVID-19 since March of 2020, but we are very excited because we are welcoming our student body back for in-person instruction, and we have many plans when it comes down to us getting everything ready to return students. Now, as far as our actual academics, these are the current programs that we are offering as well as our curriculum. I actually graduated from the college with a business administration with a concentration on management degree. As far as the freshman requirements for students, we are going to require a 275 on a 4.0 scale and that official high school transcript. We are in fact test optional, but if you have taken the ACT or SAT, please send that in if that would be something that you would like us to review, as well as a letter of recommendation and resume. Due to the fact that we are a work college model, those are 2 items, as well as an interview with one of our EM staff members. I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of this event today, as well as just listening and learning about Paul Quinn College. And if you have any questions or need additional information, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. My information is in the chat, as well as the information that is on this actual screen. Thank you so much for your time and have a great evening.
Taylor, thank you so much to you and Paul Quinn College. Next, I am going to ask all of our presenters to turn back on their cameras and share a little bit more about their institutions. I would like you to share what's your favorite event or tradition on campus, and if you would prefer, instead, you're welcome to share a fun fact. So we'll go in the same order that you presented originally. So starting with the University of Central Arkansas.
All right, so a fun event or tradition we have is that we have something called Conway Days. All businesses and some restaurants and different companies in Conway get together one of the first weeks of school and put up tons of vendors and give away free stuff, food at the beginning of the fall semester. And it's a really fun way for students to grab a new roommate they may not know well, or make more friends from classes and walk around and get some free stuff. And it's just a really fun time. Us employees enjoy it too. So we all look forward to Conway Days, and it's just a fun outdoor fall activity for new students to be a part of.
Well, by far our most well-known tradition is calling the hogs. So if you've heard Woo Pig Suey, that's definitely our athletic tradition on campus, but it's not necessarily my favorite. My favorite tradition, a lot of students don't realize, is we have something called Senior Walk. So every single student who graduates from the University of Arkansas actually gets their name engraved on our sidewalk. So you are figuratively and literally a part of our university forever. Our sidewalks include about 200,000 graduate names, and it spreads across about 5 miles of campus. So if you ever come on campus, you're going to see a pretty long legacy of students who have come before you.
My favorite tradition, and probably the most well known for us, is what we call Christmas in the Cove. So with this, we have about 27 houses that Williams owns, and different faculty, staff, and administration actually live back there. So what happens is they open their house. So obviously we had to change it up a little bit this year due to COVID. But for the most part, people were out in their driveways or something of that sort right before finals of their fall semester. And it's basically like trick-or-treating, but for Christmas time. And so there's lots of different things and different goodies you just fill up on. So candy, homemade cookies, nachos, which is my favorite, sliders, coffee, cider, you name it, it's usually there, muffins, and you just go around. I think there's even like deer chili, which that's an Arkansas thing for sure, but all those kinds of fun things are definitely, so that's probably my favorite.
Oh wow, you made me hungry. I would definitely say, so I'm new here, but as I was like looking to pick a job or different things like that, I definitely looked at the school's traditions, and one that I really love that Hendricks does, and unfortunately weren't able to hold this year, is called Shirt Tails. And so, and it goes back so many years back when Hendricks originally had a football team and we beat Old Miss. About 200 male students ran into downtown Conway and had like this huge, I guess, dance party, they would say. And so now the way they've kind of changed that tradition is that all of our freshmen in our dorms for each dorm kind of come up with different dances, and they compete against each other in our brick pit, which is this huge space we have on campus. And a lot of our alumni backstaff come and just watch it happen, which is really awesome. And I was really looking forward to seeing it happen, and hopefully one day I'll get to see it happen.
Hey, hopefully next year, right? Like moving in the right direction.
So for me, I would probably say I have two. One would be our president's late night breakfast during homecoming week every year. President Sorrell actually gets on the grill and he actually like makes the students breakfast. And so like he's flipping pancakes, which he's not really a good pancake flipper, but at the end of the day, you know, it happens. But that's probably one of those ones that's more of a fun one. My favorite tradition, honestly, as an alumna of the institution, would definitely be our Heritage Bell ceremony. So typically when students first get started with us, they have their first convocation or their first chapel service that they attend. And when you're entering the college, you actually go and walk past the Heritage Bell and you touch the bell going into the college. And then when you're actually graduating, you then are actually passing the Heritage Bell and you touch it going out. And then you actually walk to the graduation area. And wow, it's one of those things where you don't realize how much it means to you. Like, you know, as a freshman, I was like, why are we doing this? We're walking on campus, like why? But then it was like all of this rush of emotion. Clearly I kind of choked up just now, and it's been almost 10 years since I graduated from Paul Quinn, but it's one of those things that signifies so much because, you know, there's so many people that come before you as far as the history of Paul Quinn and what we were founded on and everything else, and to be a part of a legacy. And, you know, we turn 150 years next year. So it's like one of those big things that like, I'm so excited for the class of 2022 because there's so many things going on with that, but also just to have some kind of tradition like that to be a part of and to really be a part of that. It's just one of those things that you kind of never forget. And it's just one of those things that kind of stuck with me forever. And now I'm an administrator, so clearly it still means something.
What a beautiful legacy. That's really awesome. Well, I hope you audience will take a look at these wonderful professionals on the screen. As you walk through this college search process, remember that all of them are here to help you. There are people like them at all of the institutions that you are most serious about. So please don't hesitate to reach out to them. They are here again to help you. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. As you close out, there'll be a quick 4-question survey. So we do hope that you'll provide us with some feedback. Sign up for more sessions. There's still a whole hour left. And we do hope that you'll have fun in this college search process. This was recorded tonight and will be available within 1 week at strivescan.com/Tennessee. Best wishes with your college search. And like I said, have some fun and we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.